So my name is Faulkner Brown, and I'm the founder of a chain of retail bakeries that I started in my basement kitchen about 10 years ago called the Sweet Tooth Fairy. And today we're here in one of our stores just outside of Salt Lake City, Utah. And we have 9 others in Utah and Arizona. So I started just making stuff out of my basement kitchen before I opened my first store. And that was kind of right at the boom of the blogosphere. So what I did was I just sent samples around to a lot of different bloggers all over the country just saying, hey, this is me, this is what I do, I hope you like it. And one of the blogs that picked up one of my products, which are cake bites, was called Cake Spy, and she's out of the Pacific Northwest. And then someone from the Rachel Ray Show actually picked up on her review of our cake bites because she had posted and said that they were one of her favorite treats of the year that she had tried them. And so our cake bites were actually featured on the Rachel Ray Show before we opened our first store in Provo. And that really, really helped, just even with our grand opening and people hearing about us. So when I only had one location, we were making all of our cake bites, by hand and melting the chocolate in a bowl in the microwave in 10 to 20 second intervals, stirring, and they just became so popular, especially with the exposure on the Rachel Ray Show, that we knew that we had to figure something else out. And so then we opened our second store and we said, okay, well, we'll just hire 2 full-time people to make them in our second store and 2 full-time people to make them in our first store. And we still could not keep up with the demand. And so my sweet husband luckily found a chocolate enrobing machine locally that had been sitting in someone's garage forever. And so we lucked upon a chocolate enrober. And so it was really after our second store that we decided, because we were able to get the equipment really affordably, it was after our second store that we decided, just to keep up with the demand of our 2 stores, but then also shipping the cake bites all over the country off of our online store, that we needed to automate at least the dipping process. So we purchased the enrober, and now 8 stores later, it's definitely the only way that we would be able to make the cake bites unless we hired 1,000 people to just sit there and dip them like we used to.